The truth is, my gorgeous Capricornius, the truth is, now it's time for action. Okay, now it's time for action, my gorgeous Capricornius. Just remember, the truth is, now it's time for action. Now, what I need you to understand is that at the beginning of this week, you are really going to be going through some kind of emotional recovery. The important thing is that you are, most importantly, slowly healing. And you will know why am I saying this, because at the beginning of this week you are going to have some kind of unpleasant memories which are going to leave you with no option but to revisit your past, because you are constantly going to be thinking about it. And this is actually a really good sign, because you are going to realize primarily how much you've changed your way of thinking about something that happened to you like ages ago. But at the same time, you're also going to realize that, you know, now it's basically it's about this unpleasant memories. You know, this in itself is going to make you aware of the some kind of untapped potential. When you become aware of this untapped potential through this kind of unpleasant memories, what you need to understand, my gorgeous Capricornius, that now you need to focus on one thing and on one thing only, and that in itself is going to make you aware of the fact that now it's time to accept a big, huge, massive life challenge coming up. That in itself is going to open your eyes and make you aware of the fact that now it's time to also examine your personal interactions. By examining your personal interactions, you are actually going to realize that this is all gonna help you to be so much more proactive, and it's also going to help you to be so much closer to make a huge step towards your dream. And this in itself, it's really kind of going to make you realize why have you felt so obstructed and restricted lately, and why did you have problems every single time when you wanted to start something new. You see, you're going to be able to understand the bigger picture, and that in itself is going to help you to understand things about yourself and about your life from a completely different angle. And this is the time when things are going to become very, very interesting here indeed, because you are gonna start having very much so a rather unusual ideas, and every single unusual idea that you have, it's gonna require from you to come out from your comfort zone. And this is a rather sacred moment in time, because you are reaching a very, very powerful destination in your life on your spiritual journey. And also, my gorgeous also my gorgeous Capricornius, at the beginning of this week, somebody very much so close to you and very important to you is gonna kind of act in a very unusual way, which you are gonna be able to understand as some kind of a cry for help. This is a very kind of dear person to you and somebody very significant to you, and I want you to understand that that particular person is like really going through something so difficult, and it's doing something that they shouldn't be doing. And it's not that they have decided to do this. I suppose they have decided to do this by themselves, but they have been like terribly misled by somebody else. So somebody really close to you is gonna act in a very strange and unusual way, and you will know, because you're extremely intuitive, that this is a cry for help. And once you step forward, you're gonna also understand that, you know, there is some kind of like experience that you know from the past that you can connect to like there is no tomorrow. I'm not saying that you've been like doing some kind of like drugs or something like that, but some kind of experience is gonna like kind of connect you to this. So you have got some kind of relevant experience. Maybe you have been dealing with people who have been kind of doing what this person is actually doing, and I don't even know did I actually say now anymore what you're gonna find out about this person. This person has been terribly misled when it comes to maybe doing something that they shouldn't be doing, like maybe doing some kind of drugs or something kind of like a really, really bad, like a really bad, negative and really unhealthy attachment is around that person. And I really think it's to do with like some kind of drugs or some kind of illegal substances or something like that. But it's ever so important for you to step forward, because if you don't do it at this stage, the things are only going to get worse in that person's life. And now there is still time to do something amazing about it, and all you have to do is just step forward and just like kind of share the experience that you've actually had. Listen to me, I'm not saying that you've done some kind of drugs, don't get me wrong, but I do know that you will completely understand this. And maybe the fact that you're going to understand and reflect on this situation so much, it's actually showing like you had a relevant experience. But this is purely down to your intuition and how psychic you actually are, and how sensitive you actually are. All this is kind of going to create a mind-blowing balance when it comes to you understanding exactly what is going on in that person's life, in that person's mind. But you do have this key, you have this spiritual key in order to actually stop this. And it is, I'm not trying to be funny here, but it is like almost like as in between life and death, like really situation here. This is an amazing impact that you're actually going to make on this person's lives indeed. And also, my gorgeous Capricornians, when it comes to the beginning of this week, do not ignore the need for rest. If you feel like things are kind of getting too much, because there is so much that is actually going to be going on one hand, you are going to feel a little bit drained as well, like a spiritually drained, and that means that you should absolutely not ignore the need for rest if you need it, because I think that you're going to be working on something really important at the beginning of this week, and you're going to put so much into it, so much, my baby, you're going to put so much into it. But you rather want the work what you're going to be working on, you rather want to be like a superb, you want to be perfect, you want this to be excellent, and things are going to be excellent also, even more excellent, even more better, even more sharper when we take just a little break and recharge. This is so important when it comes to you working on something really specific at this week, because when you find a moment, oh my god, it's too much, I'm not feeling okay, I'm feeling like spaced out and things like that, take a little break. It can only be one day, a recharge. And I'm telling you that this in itself is going to really bring this mental clarity, and you're going to become aware of something so interesting, There is going to be such an interesting revelation of what exactly it's missing when it comes to you working on something really specific. You will realize something is missing, and it's huge, it's massive, it's a giant banana. It's huge what's missing, but you would never realize this unless you step back just for one day, my gorgeous Capricornians. Take a little break and you will see exactly what I mean. This is so important, and it's also going to help you with the quality of your work to be so much better, whatever you're working on. This can be something like to do with the business, but it can also to do with your life. It can be something to do with something really personal to you. It really depends, but it's ever so important for you to understand this. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Capricornius, pam 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 pam, 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 Capricornius, pam 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 pam. Raise your vibration, Capricornius, pam 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 pam, Capricornius, pam pam pam. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Capricornius, you really really have to trust yourself. You will see clearly where you made progress. At around the midweek, there is going to be some kind of news or message that you are going to have this realization, this information. It's going to make you aware of exactly where you have made the progress, and you're gonna really like it, because it's going to be much bigger and much better than you could have possibly imagined. And the feeling that this is going to bring, how you're going to start looking forward to certain aspects of your life. You have to really kind of trust yourself when it comes to this, because I know that you almost are going to go in this annoying mode of over-analyzing, especially when it comes to you kind of starting to looking forward to something so much here, you know, and then you're going to go to this annoying mode of over-analyzing, and this is what you immediately need to snap out of, like snap out of it. Capricornians, bam, snap out of it, bam, snap out of it, bam. You see, this is what you need to understand. You need to snap out of it when it comes to this over-analyzation, when it comes to you know, becoming aware of this progress. What are you making progress with? But at the same time, you know, this is why you have to trust yourself, because now it's time to go further. Now it's time to go forward, and you have to trust yourself, because if you don't trust yourself, this is not going to happen. If you don't trust yourself, you're going to overanalyze, and you're already going to tap into this annoying energy of like, oh no, I'm not too sure. You're just going to kind of start thinking about these stupid and silly negative aspects that are going to start affecting your energy and your vibration, and you don't want that. No, baby, no. So you have to trust yourself, and that is going to prevent you from over analyzing. And as soon as that happens, you are going to find yourself at such a wonderful fresh start in your life, completely spontaneously, completely without any planning whatsoever. You're gonna also clearly understand where exactly boundless potential for you is, and what exactly you should do. This is, on another hand, my gorgeous Capricorn, is going to help you so much to break negative habits, and it's also going to help you to be so much more kind of spiritually open, and it's going to help you to be open to spiritual guidance so much more. And that in itself is what you're doing right now. You are choosing to heal. You are choosing to heal. You are choosing to heal. By choosing to heal, you are doing something absolutely mind-blowing here indeed, because once you choose to heal yourself by taking the right directions in life and by trusting ourselves, you are absolutely doing something absolutely magnificent, you know. And this is so important. And also, you know, a friend of yours or somebody really close to you, or somebody who you chat to normally, or somebody who's very clever. You think that this person is really clever. This person is a very devoted person to the people in their lives. That's how I can describe this person. Somebody who is like a very devoted to the right people in their lives. If this person loves you, that you feel like a king or a queen. Do you know what I mean? Like around that person. It's somebody really beautiful, but somebody who's also rather gifted as well. This person is going to give you an interesting advice, which is going to consist of a couple of things: how to overcome a certain problem, and also it's going to give you an advice. The second thing is an important conversation. You're going to understand through this person that you're going to have an important conversation or negotiation with someone as well. And this is someone really clever, someone who you love to get an advice from, because you, in your eyes, this is someone who is very intelligent, very sharp, very clever, and very beautiful, and someone who you can trust to as well. By the time you get to the last part of this week, you know, my gorgeous Capricornians, you know how it's going to start. The last part of this week, and you must not let this put you off, okay? I know I'm being like a bit of a dark lala here, but the last part of this week is going to start like you are going to feel like exhausted. You're going to feel like exhausted, and you're going to feel like you want to give up, like literally. So you're going to go into this like deep thinking mode, and you're going to be like all around the place, you know. It's like, oh my God. And that means that you really naturally, spiritually, you're you need to get to the bottom of something. You need to get to the bottom of something when that happens. So at around the end of the week, you are going to feel exhausted. You're going to feel like you want to give up. And that is happening because you are like a little bit emotionally and spiritually drained. And that in itself, it's so important, because at the moment in time when you feel a little bit exhausted, when you feel like you want to give up, there are going to be some kind of ideas on your mind at the same time that are going to keep on pushing you down. That are like dark and bad and old and negative ideas are going to be highlighted. Okay, and this is what you're going to realize. So it's more about you feeling exhausted, like you want to give up because you're feeling so spiritually drained. But then at the same time, on your mind, there are going to be some kind of old and bad ideas. Now you need to let go of these old and bad ideas. It doesn't matter if you feel a little bit drained and if you feel like a little bit exhausted. It's more about the actual spiritual message here, to let go of some kind of old and bad ideas. By letting go of these old and bad ideas that are going to be on your mind, you're also escaping from evil, and you're detaching yourself from something really bad and negative that was affecting you in this way. But it's never going to go away until you, my gorgeous Capricornius, acknowledge this. As soon as you acknowledge this, the process of change is going to start, which is indeed going to put you on the path when it comes to the financial stability. But it's also like kind of going to make you aware of like why did you have maybe insufficient support or recognition so far, and most importantly, it's going to make you aware of which skill do you need to improve, which you are gonna kind of like really kind of like anyway, because this is where you're going to start finding yourself again. This is going to bring so much of a positive and optimistic energy into your life. And also at around the end of the week, someone is going to be challenging you here so much, and that person is going to have a very strong and odd and bizarre energy, and this is someone kind of also rather important, and maybe somebody kind of like dominating you. But you have to, please Capricornius, you need to be strong here. You need to be honest. You really need to be honest. So someone is going to be challenging you, but this is some kind of person of power, some kind of position of power, or somebody with extremely strong and a powerful energy, which is going to like take over a little bit. Sometimes people can have this very strong energy that it's really off-putting and we just want to run away, just going to the opposite direction. See ya? Do you know what I mean? So it's like basically you're going to be challenged by somebody, but the difference is that it's so important for you to be honest and to put your point across. Okay, so you have to really defend and protect your position, and you need to stand your ground, my gorgeous Capricornians, because otherwise you will be unhappy. Okay, so this is what I need you to understand. Okay, my gorgeous Capricornians, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.